Hello, dear students. This is Susma Singh from Booster Classes. Now, students, tell me one thing. Do you really think that beautiful things inspire us to live on and maintain our faith in goodness? Are beautiful things worth treasuring? Well, to get the answer, let's comprehend a lovely poem titled A Thing of Beauty, written by the famous romantic poet John Keats. Hope you all are enjoying my classes. So, what are you waiting for, my students? Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel for more all inclusive study materials. In this module, I shall give you the essence of this significant poem in a very lucid manner so that you can get the overview of this profound poem. You can learn with ease its theme, the tone and the style of the poem. You will get the in-depth explanation as well as the poetic devices used here. Not only this, we shall also be doing the comprehension check at the end. Before we move forward, let me give you a brief overview of this wonderful poem. As a matter of fact, A Thing of Beauty is a short piece taken from John Keats' famous epic poem Endymion, a Poetic Romance, which is based on a Greek legend. Keats, like all other romantic poets, believed that the materialistic world has given birth to greed, corruption, lust, and craze for materialistic benefits. According to them, nature is the ultimate source of peace, happiness, and joy. It is beauty in all its form, be it earthly beauty or spiritual beauty, can take away the gloom from human heart. In fact, this poem is about the poet's views on beauty and its significant role in the life of human beings. The poem depicts the quest of human soul for ideal beauty. Well, if we look at the theme of this poem, we can certainly say that the very opening line of the poem, A Thing of Beauty is Joy Forever, actually very openly conveys the very theme of the poem, that really a thing of beauty is joy forever. So the poet magnifies the power of numerous natural objects full of beauty. The poem tells about how beautiful objects of nature mesmerize us because they are the source of joy forever, and thus they take away all the sorrows and sufferings that surround us from time to time. The poet therefore urges mankind to realize the transformational, therapeutic, and spiritual impact of beauty and to make his life enjoyable and worth living. Indeed, a meaningful life. Beauty is a magical drink that has the ability to transform lives, thought, and health. Life without beautiful things would certainly become very hard. The tone of this poem is very loving, peaceful, and optimistic. The tone is also of assertion and firm belief in the non destruction of beauty. It's an appeal to realize the power of nature. And as regards the style of this poem, the poem is written in rhyming couplets, and the rhyming scheme employed here is AABB. Let's find out how the poet goes on to describe this supreme beauty. It is said that beauty is a heavenly thing. It differs from an ordinary object. The ordinary object appeals us, but temporary. But the object of beauty is a source of eternal and endless joy because a thing of beauty makes a lasting impression on our mind and we relive the joyful experience whenever we think about it. Thus, a thing of beauty becomes a source of joy forever. Its attractiveness grows with passage of time. That is, the loveliness of a beautiful thing increases many folds each time we visualize it. Its effect is not short lived but a very profound one. A thing of beauty never fades away or dies out. No space and time can destroy it. It remains fresh in our thoughts because the imprint it leaves on our mind and soul is certainly indelible. Thus, it remains valuable and it does not change into worthless. A thing of beauty is as pleasant as a quiet, cool, quiet bower, a place, a pleasant place in the shade under a tree, just as a bar provides us blissful sleep full of sweet dreams, health, and easy breathing. Similarly, beautiful sights are like cool shade in our times of trouble and act like a nutrition for healthy mind and provides us with tranquility, peace, and serenity whenever we are tired, sad, and depressed. Thus, a thing of beauty refreshes and relaxes us by driving away our aggression and restlessness. Students, here you have to keep in mind that by comparing the thing of beauty with all these things, the poet wants to prove that it has a significant role to play in the life of human beings. The poet says that every day it is the beauty which fills us with the spirit to live because a thing of beauty helps us remove the dark cloud that burdens our soul. The bounties of the earth fascinate us, no doubt. So every morning we collect fresh and lovely flowers and weave wreaths of flowers which bind us to this despondent earth and enable us live our lives which would otherwise have been a pain. Similarly, beautiful memories or experiences are like wreaths of beautiful flowers that act as a connecting link with the earthly existence and help us not to feel alienated or isolated when we are gloomy, frustrated, and hopeless. In this way, as a matter of fact, we are also preserving our nature. These lines illustrate that without beautiful things, the world is a grim and dark place, full of misery. And the expression, spite of despotism, refers to the sufferings, darkness, and hopelessness which we experience at various junctures in life due to adverse circumstances, greed, selfishness, and loss of faith. There are only a few noble people who have risen above their pettiness and have shown generosity. On this earth, there is surely shortage of such noble souls because man has really become selfish and has cultivated evil ways. This makes us despondent. And the expression, the days, gloomy refers to the continuous and tormenting period of life. Life, no doubt, is a struggle for success, and our path towards success gets obstructed by the deceit, hatred, and negativity of our fellow beings. We suffer the pangs of defeat and loss of hope, which make our life sad and disdainful because we find no reason to go on. The unhealthy and overdarkened ways refers to the trials and tribulation one encounters in this journey of life, as well as the dishonest and unfair means people adopt to achieve their goal. But in spite of all these manipulative ways, negative vibes, disappointments, hopelessness, and gloom, which are actually the results of our own evil deeds and are made for livelihood or in search of purpose of our existence on earth. It is at such depressing moments that a sight full of beauty comes as a ray of hope and dispels the covering of gloom or unwholesome experience from our dampened and demoralized spirits and makes our life worth living by providing us hope, positivity, and enthusiasm. Beautiful things definitely and surely we can say have the eternal strength to make us happy. Here we shall find the things or objects that can be considered the perfect examples of things of beauty. The objects of rare beauty that uplift our spirits and help us shake off our sadness, misery, despondency, and bring us joy are countless. These includes heavenly bodies like the sun, the moon, and the stars, and bounties of the earth. The poet sees the tree, be it young or old, as a symbol of protection. Nature, through these trees, actually shower on us the blessing of shades to protect us from tormenting heat, intensive light of the sun, and also from rain. The poet has used various powerful images to describe the beautiful bounties of the earth. Nature's beauty is at its best in the rich green pastures and meadows, where the wild flowers like daffodils give the impact of beauty in its wild form. The commonplace simple creatures like sheep that are envisioned as the embodiment of innocence and divine beauty. The poet has given specific example of biblical illusion here. Jesus as a messenger of peace was shepherd and was seen surrounded by his flock of sheep, that is, his followers. There are clear springs or small rivers which alone render a cooling and soothing effect and provides respite in hot seasons as well as in desert. Even there is a patch of bushes and thickets which is full of natural beauty of the Mark's rose with its fragrance and blossoms. They make both the forest undergrowth and nature rich. Nature is beautiful in all aspects. The poet further carries on with the description of the more beautiful things on the earth. In addition to bounties of nature, there are many other things which add various colors to our otherwise meaningless life. Rare magnificence and grandeur is also associated with the mighty dooms of great men, great warriors, and great emperors who have lived life of ideals and even died bravely and quite selflessly for the sake of the country, caste, religion, or some other noble cause. They are dead, but their grand deeds are immortalized in memory because they have inspirational wives. Doom here refers to the ruins of the great deeds of these legendary heroes. The poet thus sees beauty in death and decay also, and feels that beauty is not limited to birth and growth only. Like every season, every aspect of life contrasts with the other and has its own charm and beauty. There are glorified tales of our legendary heroes, great warriors, and selfless workers. Literature as a whole in the form of stories, even our scriptures, which we have heard or read. And all these lovely tales are definitely source of everlasting inspiration and give us the courage to fight against all odds. Beauty, thus we can say that beauty in different forms is like a never ending fountain of heavenly nectar, which is being showered on us in huge quantity from the heaven above, bringing eternal and everlasting joy. They are actually never diminishing source of pleasure and delight. The things of beauty are surely God's divine and the greatest gifts to us to cope with this harshness of life so that we can live further on this earth happily. Hence, a thing of beauty is the ultimate source of happiness. The poet brings in a host of dazzling images, metaphors, symbol, alliteration, and various other literary elements just to illustrate one single point, that is, a thing of beauty is joy forever. So, students, in this slide, you will get all the poetic devices that have been used in this profound poem with explanation and examples. So, you can simply note them down and keep revising. You all must have got the in-depth explanation of this wonderful poem. So here are a few important questions from this poem for your comprehension check. Taking help from the explanation which I have just given to you, try to solve these questions and deepen your understanding. Keep watching and keep learning. Thank you.